Well, we're here at the show. I'm here by myself. I pissed the other ones off. I'm shooting the show solo. And it doesn't matter. Who wants to listen to these two jackasses anyway? I mean, I am the show.
I look real good today. 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 I look.
Episode 68.
Nice. We're back for another show. As always, Gunny Matheson, Joe Schmidt. No,
And our special guest today.
no special guest today.
No special guest.
We're just going to do
Just
a little,
us.
a little recap of the NRHA Derby, the Brandon Brandt,
Yeah, what else happened?
the Brandt
Paint, we're
Priest.
at level 3 champion. How much you win? Like $8,000 or something?
Well, on the level 3 winner, I won like 51, 5,200.
I know, man.
I showed 3 horses, so total I won 8,500 something, maybe 9,000.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Paint world champion. Long day. You were down there, what? You said you left at 3 this morning and been going this whole time.
Yeah,
He has said he loves that arena, though.
I do
Yeah,
like
that's
that
right.
arena. That's a great place to show.
Dude, but that warm-up is like a
Dude.
sauna.
It's like a dungeon in there.
Yeah.
When it's 100 degrees outside, it's like no insulation. We're in the cattle barn 3.
Yeah.
No insulation. It's like a dungeon.
Yeah.
But that's what people don't understand. If they just go there for the 100X, that thing is, I mean, they got enough lipstick on that pig at the 100X. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, really good. When you go down there for a show like this,
Yeah, they don't quite.
no. Especially in
up.
this weather.
Yeah, but it's a cool horse show because it pays down deep. I mean,
Yeah.
it pays to go with it. I won the level 3 in the 4, 5, 6-year-old challenge. 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old challenge. Maybe it's to 7. And Gennaro Lendi and Danny Tremblay tied to win it, and they marked 226, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see Gennaro, but I saw Danny, and he was legit.
Yeah.
I saw Gennaro, and I mean, you could have marked him whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
He was good. I mean, it was.
No, he was way good. Danny was really good.
Yeah.
That horse is cool. No, both of them were way good.
And I was good. I mean, for a level 3 guy.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cade was third.
Tied for 3rd with Brian. You know, with my performance down there, I put myself right in the running for the American deal. You know, I just have to win the fraternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good goal though. Like, you know, you just and you got the first step.
Well,
Paint world level 3.
I like to keep it in suspense and just go for the Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah,
What'd you call it?
You're putting together the pocket change at the moment.
Yes.
And what'd you call it? A heater or something?
No, it's a heat check.
Heat check.
Yeah.
Heat check.
Yeah, I said Cade went down there on a little heat check because, you know, that's what we call when somebody's shooting threes from the outside and they're making everything and then they get a little, then they try for a half quarter. Heat check.
Caitlin
Gotcha.
Clark, huh? She's big time.
Joe doesn't even know who you're
I know,
talking
She's
That's
about.
the
not
NBA
shooting.
that's the
She's not on a
WNBA
heat
chick.
check.
Yeah.
She shoots them bombs, huh?
Yeah, she is.
Well, she's not in WNBA yet,
Yeah.
right? She's still
Yeah,
in college.
she is-
Or she
no.
just switched,
Yeah.
right?
God.
Didn't she?
Let's not talk sports with
No,
Joe here.
I know who she is. I thought she just started in the WNBA. She was in the college, right?
Yeah, she was in college and then she got drafted and now they're playing in the WNBA.
Yeah, but just recently she
yeah.
switched over, right?
Couple
months.
And then she's having trouble because the other
Not
chicks
so
are
much.
they're slamming her around. They're initiating
They're bullying her. They're
See?
bullying her.
Dude, I follow sports.
Yeah,
I'm just not into it as much as you. I
They
know
bully.
Caitlin Clark.
They're bullying
her, right?
They bully Caitlin Clark like Tom bullies me.
Yeah. See, I follow that shit, man.
That's why I have so many fans. Is because they're all sympathetic for me. They know
Because
what,
of the bullying.
Yes.
And the fat shaming.
Yes. They know exactly what kind of friends I have,
Oh yeah.
or whatever you call those people that you hang out with.
Yeah. No, you got to be tough. Got to have thick skin, man.
Paint World. Yep, it's going on.
Champion.
Yep.
Level 3.
I won a trophy.
$8,000.
I
Yeah.
looked real good today.
Yeah.
Hey, let's
I
hear
looked
it.
real
Yeah.
good
Let's hear
today.
it. Let's hear it.
No, I don't.
No, you got to hear it. This is Gunny's intro music walking into the house today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice too. Kind of like it.
Yeah, it's my. Yeah, it makes me feel good. It's my new. Yeah, I think I should intro to this show all the time like this. It's gonna be loud.
Waiting.
It's not.
Waiting.
I look real good today. I look real good today. I look real good today.
Yep.
I look real good
I like it.
today.
Very much.
It just makes you feel good.
I want it. I want it because it does. It makes me feel good. Even
Do
for
you want me to give you my new intro song?
Yeah, dude.
That can be your intro song.
I want it.
Okay.
I mean,
it's yours.
if it makes-
That's what friends do.
If it makes you feel like you look good, imagine how good I'm gonna feel.
That'd be
It
pretty
didn't even cross my mind to think about it that way. Oh, we got Brand auctions over.
Yeah.
Yeah, looked very successful. A lot
Yeah.
of stuff got sold for good prices. Good stuff in there too. I mean, everybody.
Yeah,
A lot of
and
good stuff.
everybody, like stud fees, everything's sold for. I mean, you could tell people were very interested in supporting the cause. So
Well, I mean,
that was great.
I'm sure that you guys being at the Derby, y'all heard. I mean, I felt weird about doing our show with talking about Brandon's deal and stuff. We don't want to. I don't know. I just felt weird about it, and we got a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive feedback on it, and it's good for Brandon to get on here and say thank you to everybody. And I'm sure the auction's just finishing up. If it's not just finished, and I'm sure he would say thank you a million times again. So.
Yeah, no doubt. And, we weren't even planning on shooting that day.
Yeah.
But when I talked to him earlier in the day, and he said, man, I just wish there was some way I could thank everybody. He said, it just doesn't, there's so many people involved. And I said, well, you can thank the millions of people that watch the show.
Million.
Well,
Yeah.
we got a lot of compliments in person about making it public and what we said and
Yeah.
how we handled it. So it was, thank everybody for their nice words. Y'all don't realize how not like him you are.
Always trying to knock you down.
Yeah. No,
We had a little horse show that passed too. A couple weeks ago, right? Or a week ago?
A week ago.
A few days ago.
Yeah.
What's today?
NRHA Derby.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It was over Saturday, yeah.
Yep. We had a tie in the non-pro.
NRHA
Big
Derby.
scores. I can't honestly remember a non-pro where a 27.5 won it.
Yeah.
There was a good non-pro class.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
didn't see Gina, but Kim was awesome.
yeah.
I watched them both. They were both good. They were both really good. And Kim's horse went 1-1-1 right off the bat. If not more, I can't remember, but it was big stop, 2 big turns. Yeah. Gina's horse, just the same. They were pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, and those are two that spend a lot of time doing this, I think both those girls do a lot of their own work.
And they've both won major events before.
Yeah.
It's no surprise.
Yeah.
It's no surprise if you would have said Kim Mielstetter or Gina won. Yeah, I get it.
Obviously Gina's got Dwayne and Kim's got Martin if they run into some problems in the process. But I think both of those girls, they ride a lot of their own horses. I know, in fact, I know both of them do. Yeah. They do a lot of their own work. And so it's not a surprise. You're right. It's not.
What was fun for me with the 2 non-pros is when Kim walked out of the pen, she had no clue that she marked a 27.5.
Yeah, no.
When they said that score, it was like, surprise.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just to see her reaction on the spot like that, I thought that was cool. I don't know if you
for sure
paid attention to it.
No, I
but
saw
yeah.
it.
When she was right.
Well, I think, and especially in that class, you don't expect that score. And I think when she showed
She was
a
first.
21 was leading it or something.
23.
Right?
Lane
Was it 23?
Colston just
Was he
walked
before
out of
her?
the pen.
Yeah, there was a couple of horses after
Yeah.
him.
Lane
And
was
Lane
leading
was
it.
good. He was
Lane's
very
horse
good.
is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Them 3 horses could be in the open.
Oh, easy.
Lane's horse is just 4 too.
Yeah, there's 20 horses in that non-pro finals that
Yeah.
could have showed in the Open,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was what, 12 of them over at 20 or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
And then switch over to the Open finals. I mean, I think 24 was 20th place, or 22 was 20. I mean, I'm making shit up here, but hey, you know what? I could have come up with a new slogan the other day. We talk about opinions and not facts here. I like it.
Hey, that's really non-committal.
I'll let you go. We're all about opinions and not facts.
No facts.
No
Yeah.
fact checking here.
No.
Yeah.
No, we just throw
just
shit
a
out there.
bunch
Yeah,
of
but we're
crap.
right.
Yeah, we're right. Just about all the time.
Our opinions are right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good finals too, and I think I think they were on probably a bit of a high. I couldn't follow all of it, to be honest with you.
Did you watch all the finals?
Yeah, I sat up in the stands
You did.
and watched probably all but about 3 horses. After Cade would run, I'd walk down there.
Man, nobody could follow
horse.
all of it.
You
There
know.
were some of them runs where you'd go, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was tricky, and I mean, none of us, we've all talked about it. None of us want to sit here and second guess or run down any of that part of it. I mean, there's never a judge that walks in there and tries to do anything but the absolute best job they can do. But I think there's teams that are better. Some teams are better than others. Some, I don't know. I don't know why it works sometimes. And well, I have opinions, but I'm not expressing any opinions today.
Go against your slogan.
Yeah, we'll hold back today, but
I don't think we're supposed to get on TV and express our opinions about that. I think we're supposed to just go, on to the next one.
yeah. Well, and I'm not going to get you two guys in trouble. I'm not an official judge of the NRHA, so I can yammer all I want, but I'm not, you
But
guys.
no, it's like you were saying when you were over, where were you, in Italy? And you said that one horse stopped, you thought it was big time.
I was
Marked it big.
in chair 1, and the winner runs in and stops a 1.5, because I see his butt and his neck hanging, and his butt is touching the ground and his neck is hanging between his knees. No brainer plus, and he backs up good. No brainer plus 1.5. And then I watch it back on video, and maybe he was just a freckle front endy in the middle there somewhere. Still a +1 maneuver. And if I was in any chair, I would still +1 it. But maybe I shouldn't have went to the 1.5. But where I was sitting, my opinion or my training taught me, man, that was an excellent maneuver, because he hit the gate running like a barrel racer. He was fast, aggressive. Thing said yes, held the ground, backed up. What more would I want to see? I mean, so yeah, it is different when you have 5 different views, and a lot of times in the barn alleyway when we're discussing how we think it's bad that there's a spread, there's a very good explanation for a lot of those spreads being the point of view.
Yeah.
And
Yes, but no matter where you sit, you shouldn't have a horse that was 15th first, no matter where you sit.
correct.
I mean, that's just shit getting. It's not anybody being dishonest. It's not anybody trying to.
Well,
It's just-
and to my point, you're right, because if you're in chair 1, you're in chair 1 for the whole finals.
Right,
Right.
You don't move,
right.
so you're judging it from there. So I agree with you.
Yeah, you see every horse from that angle.
From that angle, you see him, and
I just think too that, and I've had this conversation with some of the powers that be, is that I think they need to really recruit some younger guys that are in that group of guys, and I know of them, that 25 to 40-year-old group that talk to each other on the phone every day. They eat, sleep, and drink reining horses.
Yeah.
And the business has changed. 20 years ago, they kind of judged themselves because there was a big discrepancy in the top end to the bottom end, and now there's so many good horses.
And then there was 100 or 150 entered. There's 300
Right.
entered, and 30 make the finals. I mean, 10% made the finals.
Yeah. 35 actually made the finals.
Yeah.
And 2 made the finals out of the first day. Mm-hmm. Which, and you know what? I'm not going to sit here and say that I have rewatched all those, and I can't even say it was wrong, but statistically,
That doesn't happen.
we've never seen that happen before.
Well, I'm sure the powers that be are watching them all again.
Yeah. And should be.
I'm sure they're making adjustments, figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I forgot what I was going to say. But,
No, but
I
you're
got
saying-
up at 3 o'clock this morning. You guys got to forgive me. I got up at 3, rode my 3 horses, showed my 3 horses in 100-degree weather.
I've been complaining about it ever since.
I was a freckle dehydrated when I got here, and I'm hydrating with
Yeah.
the drink of Matheson. We'll just call it that. You know what it is.
Well, no, I don't know. When you're saying get young people, try to get them interested in the judging, those guys are wanting to show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? I had an argument with another professional too that is a top 30 guy, big time horse trainer. Have a lot of respect for him, and we were talking about the judging in the barn alleyway like we do, and I said, "You need to get your judge's card," and he says, "I don't want to judge. I don't have time to judge." I didn't tell you had to judge.
Right.
I don't care if you judge a horse show. I don't care if you have time. You need to get the card. So if you have an argument or you have a problem, when you argue, it means something. Because at least you have the card. At least you've been through the school. At least you've been through the process. And this guy's qualified enough to judge reining, even though he hasn't taken the school. He's that good of a horse trainer.
Right.
So
Is he talking about me?
No.
Well, no,
No,
he said good
no.
horse trainer.
No.
You talking about Dwayne?
No, he's no.
I'm not talking about Wayne, but I actually think there are 50% of professionals don't have their NRHA judges card that should.
Yeah, I agree.
I think all professionals, all the NRHA professionals that are doing well enough in business to go to the NRHA Derby should have a judge's card. Tom, it's not that hard.
No, I don't
Or at least
disagree.
go to the school and not get
Tom's
kicked,
been
not
to the
get,
school. You
not
wanna
get
talk about
kicked out. not get kicked out.
How did you know the story?
Yeah, that's
That's
famous. Famous.
okay.
That's a 100-year-old story.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about
Yeah,
it,
no.
but I don't know. I think try to go at the productive way of cost a few $100 to go to Oklahoma City and get your card.
Yeah. No, and it's totally worth it. I think it helps your showing. It helps everything. You know. But yeah, I don't think you could sit through it for more than about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough, and I'll tell you exactly. I mean, I'll rehash that story. So this was
It was 20, 30 years
25
ago, right?
years ago. Anyway, it was a long time ago, 30 years ago maybe. And they had a judges school, I guess you call it, in College Station. So I went down there with Dean Latimer and Dale Harvey, and we went there. And
Who were both judges?
Yes, who were
Yeah.
both judges and very good horsemen. And so we came in one morning, and we were, if you do know Dale Harvey and Dean Latimer, we were 5 minutes late. Not a shock. It was the best I could do to not be 20 minutes late with those two. So we walk in there, and they're discussing runs right away. And we were talking about Bob Avila was showing a horse called Smartin' Off, who was a very nice horse, and Bob
Was
won a lot
second
on
in
him.
the fraternity.
Yeah, but he would always go to the ground and get wide and pop out and then go back to the ground. And they're plussing it a lot. And we got in an argument about that. And, you know, I'm not the same. I argue different now than I did then. You know, I was a young guy. Dean was a young guy, and so we argued that point, and probably didn't. You know, it wasn't. We argued the point. Let's leave it at that. Well, after we go home, I get a letter from the NRHA that had 4 or 5 people send in that we walked in at 8:05 in the morning, drunk. Who's drinking at 8? Especially when you're with Dale Harvey.
Yeah, right.
I never even seen Dale. I don't know that Dale Harvey ever had a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, who's drinking at 8:05 in the morning? I mean, we got bigger
I got
problems
up at
than that.
3 a.m., so technically I could have started drinking
At 8 and be
8:05.
It'd be like-
it would
it'd be like
technically
noon.
be noon or 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But I didn't.
Been totally fine.
Yeah. So anyway, they sent me a letter and asked me to apologize, and I did not. So I then got 6 months probation, and I passed on the apology.
Yeah.
So
And you've just
anyway.
been slightly bitter ever since.
No.
Right?
No.
Not just a little bit towards
Never.
the whole.
Never.
Like,
Because that was all really driven by one person, and we don't need to bring up names. So.
It's funny that you say that because the first time that I went to the judges applicant school, I'm passionate about rating. I'm passionate about being a part of it. And you walk in there and you're passionate about judges and judging and your opinion. And the first time I walked in there, I would say I was probably 40-50% too argumentative with what I saw and what I agreed with. And I mean, that would be advice if somebody that was going to go to that school for the first time. That's where I differ now. When I went into school this time, I got my highest score that I ever had, and I think I did the best job during my school. I walked in there and listened. I didn't walk in there to tell them my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
that's
hard to do
and it's great advice
because you care.
Yes.
You know?
right.
And to be clear, I went to that school because I had a chip on my shoulder
About how
to begin with
yeah.
about how things were being
for
marked.
sure.
So that's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is now. So I don't have the chip on my shoulder anymore.
Yeah.
But we still deal with a lot of the same stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you guys always come over. We watch the UFC every time there's a pay-per-view event. You guys both come over and we watch UFC. And you know how many times have we watched somebody win? You know,
A
20
decision,
yeah.
and
A judge's
we thought it
decision,
was
yeah.
opposite.
yeah, 29-28, 29-28, and then the other guy's got it 30-27 on. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah. Like, how could he see it that
Yeah,
way? But
sees it completely opposite, and it's figure skating, it's UFC, it's whatever's judged.
right.
You just run into that, and you try to do. And you know what? We have some. I thought the Cactus this year was judged great. I thought the go around at the NRBC this year was judged great. I thought, we have a lot of great judged events, and I don't think that. I think a 5%, maybe. I think a 10% error rate. Even if. So if you're taking 30 horses to the finals, a 10% error rate would be 3 got in that shouldn't and 3 were out that should have been in. That's even this too high a standards. I think we could say if you get the majority of them right, and if there's 6 that are in that shouldn't be and 6 that are out that should be in, you can live with that. If they're all close, that's going to happen. I mean, there's just no way around that. That's going to happen. And to remedy that as a rider, try not to be on the bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing they say in the UFC, don't leave it up to the judges.
Right.
And if you just go out there and knock it out, then you're not leaving it up to the judges.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, like you brought up earlier, I judged my first major event earlier this year. It's fresh on my mind. It was about a month ago. I judged the European Futurity. And I must say, sitting in those finals for that level 4 class, it was the best seat I could imagine. It was so much fun to sit there and judge those guys. Had no problem being laser focused, and right on top of my game, right? But when it was all said and done, I still sat there and went, man, I'd like to see those top 5 runs again just to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
Right.
In the moment, I think I nailed it, but
Yeah.
there's still the question of, man, I got to get better. I want to do this the
No,
right way.
you watch it 3 or 4 times and you can pick it apart, and then you're four points off.
Yeah.
But I feel like probably everybody that judges a major feels that same way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think integrity is an issue at all.
No,
I think it's always about, I use this as an example all the time. I have watched, when I go to Florida, I've been all over the country watching Carly show the hunters. I've watched 1,000 trips in the hunter ring. I grew up with horses my whole life. These are just other horses. I've watched 1,000 trips with the best people in the world sitting next to me answering my questions. I still couldn't judge it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not, there's something about seeing it, being around it, where you can feel it more than see it. If a horse is, lifts up in a small slow, or there's so many things that we can see because we see 400 maneuvers a day at home.
Yeah.
So there's so much stuff that we can see that, you and I have talked about this before. A horse runs down and stops, and the ground is, it's loose and it's a little bit dusty. We can see by their top line.
We know they floated a foot or not
Yes.
immediately.
Yes. And so, I think, I don't know the answer. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe this is it's just it. And I've been on the receiving end. I've been on the end.
We all
where,
have.
Yeah.
Where we've
been
gotten
on
marked.
the We've been on the out of the finals and the in the finals
Yeah.
end.
100%. So
I tell you what, the one thing that I did also learn was sitting in the chair that I was in at the European Futurity. I judged for 4 or 5 days. I couldn't understand one thing the announcer said. And he was speaking English, just the acoustics in that building weren't projected towards me. So I had no idea most of the time what the other judges, I had no idea what the total score was.
right.
To go back to the NRBC when they weren't announcing scores, in my opinion, it made me better because I didn't worry sitting there the whole week about what anybody else was judged.
Right.
I was just focusing on my job.
Yeah.
So
And I think
I
that's
don't
what
know.
you get. I think
you heard a lot of complaints about it at the NRBC, but I enjoyed it because I'm in my own headspace a lot, and I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, we heard a lot of both. We heard complaints. We heard a lot of good stuff about it. We heard both, and I think one of the things is you're comfortable. You're comfortable. If you're sitting there in that chair, you don't need to hear the other scores. I think there's a certain comfort level for some judges, some people. There's a certain comfort level to be able to go, oh, okay, okay. I'm in the. You don't care. You're going to stay there all day.
it's my opinion.
Yeah, and you're not going to change it. And I think there's a comfort level for someone. And to be 100% clear, I used to be very mad at those judges. I mean, they'd screw up an event, and I would be pissed off, mad. That's completely changed as I've gotten more involved with that stuff because there's no judge that walks in there and sits down in that chair and doesn't want to be the best judge
Yeah.
that evening.
Yeah. No, nobody wants it to be talked about. Like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
You marked that thing so high. What the hell?
Yeah.
Well, and that,
You know.
I mean, that goes back to my point of even professionals just getting their card. If you just went through the process,
Yes.
you would understand better.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have a little more empathy for the
You would just-
situation.
You would just understand how one guy can see a 73 and the other guy can see a 75.
Yep.
Happens very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, sometimes in those schools, it happens from a 71 to a 77. There, in a teaching situation, there's a big difference. So, I don't know. I think it's, I think getting your judge's card, or at least going to the schools and learning about it is.
You've seen a run in a school that they had from a 71 to a 77?
Yes.
And you could be talked into either one of those scores?
No.
Okay. That makes more sense.
No. But the point being is there's 50 judges in a room. Somebody got it really wrong on the low end and somebody got it really wrong on the high end. I mean, it just happens. Somebody really loved it. Somebody really hated it. And they point those examples out to try to teach people, hey, this is where you were right. This is where you were wrong. Yeah. And, we know it happens more, but that's just why I think going through the process and getting your card is so important, because you would understand.
No, I agree with all of that. I agree. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing, I think it's somebody brought up the idea, one of the top 5 trainers in the country brought up the idea
Dwayne,
about
Andrea, Sean, Cade, Casey, Deary.
Yeah, not those. Not that.
No, not any of those 5. Actually, top 10.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah, yeah. He's like 11th. So he's like the 11th best guy I know.
He's 10.5.
Yeah. He had a slow year in '87.
No, was saying that what if we did a $50,000 added for the judges, and it paid 25, 15, and 10 for the top ranked. You rated them after the horse show. And my point to that was, I think it's a good idea, but not for the same reason he did. He thought it was a good idea because he thought it would make them try harder. I don't think they can try harder. No. I don't think there's anybody not trying.
No, they're all trying hard.
But I think what it would do was some of these guys
that don't have their card,
would get a card, and even some of them that have a card that don't want to go there, that go there and would rather be a monitor. Some of those guys might go, oh, wait a minute, there's 50,000 added. Just like we decide where we're going, we might be able to get some more people. And is that a ridiculous amount of money to spend on judges? Yes, but if we don't have that, what do we have?
Right.
If we don't feel like we can get the judging right, then what do we have? And
I mean, being an NRHA judge has been nothing but a rewarding experience for me. Even horse shows where I've gone and judged schooling for 5 days. Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed meeting people. I enjoy traveling. I just enjoy... my favorite part of it is getting in an argument with Tom and going, but I have my judge's card and you don't.
You don't.
That's
you
my
don't
favorite,
know anything.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yep. You haven't judged. You don't know.
So,
yes.
I don't know. I'm just...
bounces off. Just bounces off.
Yeah.
Well, enough about judging. Anyway,
No, I think that's the thing. That's the thing everybody's talking about, though, now.
Yeah.
And it is tough.
Cade won. Cade won the Derby.
Yeah.
On a horse that is, in my opinion, is known for running and stopping. And he borderline, if I'm judging, he turned a 1.5 the first way and a 1 the second way, and he circled a 1.5 the first way and a 1 the second way, and you could argue that he could have circled a 1.5 both ways.
Yeah.
And there was a few plus half stops in there. So a horse that, in my opinion, his big lick is running and stopping, didn't perform to the best of his ability. But everywhere else, he stepped up huge.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Sky's the limit for that horse. How cool is that, for Cade?
And his right lead stop, you could sure argue it being a 1 or a 1.5.
It probably
I won it.
Yeah,
but I didn't 1.5 the circles, and I won the first turn. I 1.5 the second.
I would have 1.5 the first one. Probably could have 1.5 the second one. But
and I went 1 circles.
What more do you want out of a horse that circles? He lopes tight. He lopes pretty.
I thought the small slow was a 1.5. I thought the 2 big fast were 1s. and I went 1 on the other side too.
Couldn't-
Picked his hand
could-
up a little bit through the middle.
Could not disagree with you more. Because in that pattern, in pattern 9, you lope a small, slow, 2 large, fast, and you change leads. It doesn't say you lope a small, slow, 2 large, fast, back off the throttle, then change leads. And he was one of the only people that changed leads and slowed down at the same time. And to me, you have to pay that degree of difficulty where you would see there's not a plus 1.5 in the speed. It's not even about speed.
No, it wasn't about the speed. It wasn't about the
So
speed. I
to
thought he
me,
was
his
going
left
fast enough.
circle is a 1.5, and you could argue that his right circle is just a plus 1 because he did steer through the middle one time. Still pretty excellent, dude.
Yeah, that was very good.
Still very good. So in my card, I'm 1.5.
Okay,
1.
so you're what? So what'd you do on the stop run in? Just
1.
half or 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you went 1, 1.5, 1.5. So you're
1,
at 4.
1.5, 1.
Oh, okay.
1.5,
So that's 2.
1.
So you're 3.5 leaving the middle.
Yep.
5, 6.
6. Half, 1, 1.
So what is that? 6. So you were at an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
see,
half.
I was an 8.
I could have. Yeah, I think
I
it
had
was
him
a
at an 8.
78.
I had him at an 8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him at an 8, and I had the assassin at a 7. I had Jason
I had the assassin at a 6.5.
6, and I think I had a 6 actually.
But I had Jason Van Lanningham at a 77 on his Geldon.
Yeah.
I liked him better than they did.
What'd you have Trevor at?
76,
See, I think I had those
maybe
two
6.5.
tied. I had those 2 tied, but I liked Jason. When I watched it the first time, I liked Jason better.
Yeah,
I thought Jason's horse was really good.
super
So
physical.
was Trevor's, but
They were both great.
yeah.
Well-
I mean, it was splitting hairs.
I'm not a judge, but I'm gonna throw in here anyway, listening to you two guys, and I agree more with Gunny in the circles because I know they were given a lot of 1s that night based on the scores, and those were the best circles of the night.
They were the best circles of the night. He challenged
So
his
they
horse.
can't be the same one as everybody
He
else.
challenged his horse more than. I mean, Trevor challenged his horse too. Trevor.
But it's freaking hard to go large, fast,
Bam,
and
small silk.
pow, you're just pleasure loping in
Yeah.
one stride.
Yeah.
And he did it. The only other guy that did it to me close to that was Andrea.
Andrea. And then he drops his rein.
Yeah.
That's
See, I was-
heartbreaking.
I was getting ready because I'm the only one that made the finals.
Yeah,
of these two.
yeah, right.
So I didn't get to see Andrea, so I was getting mine ready.
No, Andrea, he was putting it to him, man. He was winning. I had him.
I heard that.
I think, at a 5 or a 5.5 before.
You
he
know
went
what?
To
The
stop.
funny thing is about that too is me and Andrea were the last 2 people over in Barn 6 getting ready, and Fernando Salgado dropped a rein.
Yeah, he had an overturn. Horse kind of tripped a little bit, and then he
And
dropped. his
Monica had just got through saying, "Your reins are too long. Don't do that. It looks funny."
Yeah.
And I said, "His reins were too long because he just dropped one." And I could have sworn Andrea heard me, but
Well, and
I think his horse pulled the rein, like slipped turning and pulled the rein out of his hand, didn't it?
rein. On Fernando's, yeah.
No, Andreas.
Oh, I thought Fernando's when it slipped, it kind of when the horse slipped. I didn't know about. Well, because
I don't know. I was
yeah, you were
Getting my
ready.
finals
No, I don't know
ready.
why Andrea dropped the rein because he changed leads and he was in
And-
the quarter of the circle.
And now I'm gonna be a parent. Andrea was right there, but you still got to run and stop and get rolled back, and you got to do. I mean, he had the horse before that had stopped a -1.5 twice. I mean, there's
Yeah.
still a lot to get through.
Oh, yeah. No, for
before
sure.
it's not like that's for sure going to be a.
No,
I mean, reigning's hard.
no.
I mean, there's,
But at that point, I had him beating Cade, and I was like, oh, dude, come on. I mean, I was marking him. I wasn't liking it because
I didn't have him beating him because that, to me, the only thing that he did better than Cade was his first stop. And then I thought Cade outturned him and outcircled him.
Yeah, I like the circles a little better. I thought.
I think Kate outturned and outcircled everybody.
Yeah, me too.
And Jordan Larson won the level 3.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was in the win picture, and Monica said, "Say welcome back to Texas." So I said, "Welcome back to Texas," and he smirked and smiled at me. Sorry, Jordan. I didn't mean that. I mean, but
Why wouldn't you welcome back to Texas? What am I missing?
well, he won. He was huge in the finals.
Yeah.
It's like a nice welcome back to Texas.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know, back to where there's a lot of horses and a lot of horse training going on. Not that there isn't a lot in California, but
But there's
I
not
think,
a lot in
I
California.
think there's more better here.
Oh, so you're
better.
implying that moving back to Texas got him sharper again.
I think so.
I think that's
I
a
think
valid
I think
point.
he proved it, not me. I mean, he marked 226 and 226 and a half and was pretty dang awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looked good.
Well, the one thing about we all know about here, I mean, you go to the paint world where there's not a lot of money added, and a pair of 226s tied to win it.
And they were salty 226.
Yeah, they were.
No.
They were salty.
I mean, it doesn't
showing.
matter. You
They
go to
didn't hand him a 226 because they were at the paint world. You could have
No.
marked them
Yeah.
both higher.
yeah. Point being is, when you're in Texas, you go to Ardmore in February when it's snowing out, and you got to mark a 75 to win the Open.
You got to mark a 75 to win the novice horse
Yeah.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, in a blizzard.
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
And then there was a three-way tie for the level two. I want to say it was Jonathan Baru, Dan Huss, and Nicole Rennick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
She had a good run. She's been doing
her
good.
horse looked good too.
Crazy
Her horse looked good.
Crazy
She showed
good.
a 7-year-old gelding, and he stops with his tail on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he keeps his front end moving. He's so deep.
You know what I love though? We saw a lot of 7-year-olds there step up and be very good.
Yeah.
Like very good. So
Horse training's getting better.
horse training's getting better.
Yeah.
Horse training, mental preparation, the schooling that we do. I think people are figuring out the longevity.
I talked with Casey Deary this morning because I showed the level 3 winner of the paint world was a mare that he had trained. Her name's Found Love in a Bar. Customer of his, Jody and Joel and Puno own it, and they sent it to me because I'm level 3, obviously. And it's this 6-year-old mare, and I was talking to him a lot. I said, dude, this mare's 6, and she doesn't feel like she's ever been used. I mean, she feels as fresh as can be. And his statement was pretty simple, and I got to think about it some more. It was so simple. He said, well, I just try to keep the horses what they are, and they seem to stay better longer. And it made a lot of sense to me because he didn't have to cross the line to train this horse to be as good as she is. He just trained her to be what she is, and she's staying there. I mean, but credit to him, I guess, 6-year-old mare that, and I don't know that you saw that 15 or 20 years ago.
Well, nobody got them as trained. These horses are so trained now that whatever happens in the show pen is not a surprise. The show pen is the easiest part of their day. You know, they're so broke to do all the maneuvers. And you look, you're not. It used to be you had to get a little deeper sometimes on one to make them do the big stuff. You go watch the practice pen. These things are all turning and stopping ones. And, I mean, now it's more about who can get them mentally ready to walk in the pen that day and then get them horse shown. But there was 35 that made the finals with ties of the Open at the Derby, and there was 100 horses there that were good enough to make it.
Yeah.
And that used to not be the case. I mean, we've talked about it before. You guys don't remember, but I remember when Bob Loomis and Tim McQuay and Craig Johnson and Bill Horn and those guys just stay on pattern, and they're making the finals. I mean, Craig showed a horse named Rope and Shoot like 100 years ago, and it run down
It wasn't
for
100 years ago. It was in the 1985 fraternity.
Yeah, it feels like
Maybe
100
88.
years. Yeah,
That's 40.
yeah, probably 88, I would say. And it ran down towards the gate, and it put its head up and pretty much walked all the way to the gate, and before he gets it rolled back, and he still makes the finals. Well, you're you cut your head off now. I mean, you got to be so good.
Yeah.
And I think that level of training day in and day out and the care. I mean, I know the 2 spas at that horse show. I mean, I bet I know
They run
Dave's,
24 hours a day.
Yeah, Dave's the Nautilus Equine Spa. They did 1,200, 1,300 horses at that horse show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And we were there for 12 days. They did 100 horses a day.
yeah. And it used to be when I first started in this, you were lucky if there was a horseshoer there. Now there's 3 different vets and the spas and
5 different horseshoers.
Yeah. Everything you need. And the horses are, you walk through and everybody puts, there was a time when they'd throw one bag, in the old days, they'd throw a bag of shavings in there and
Not clean the stall.
not clean the stall.
Yeah.
And now all these horses are standing on mats. Everybody rents mats for their stalls and loads them with shavings, and every horse has got fans and the portacools everybody's going above and beyond to make their horses more comfortable. Not everybody. Everybody that's successful. The top end of the industry is certainly taking care of their livestock.
Well, and I think too, like what Cade's always talking about preparing his horses is how to do the least amount before he shows.
Yeah.
It's like, that one only trotted around 10 minutes, check the left turn, go in.
Yeah.
Whereas I think before, man, we
but
check everything 15 million times.
I think there's something to that, not only just getting them prepared to show, but there's something to that, training them. Because every correct way we train these horses to do what they do, we're also contradicting ourselves also. Because you want a horse softer in the face, the more you pull on it, the softer it gets. Well, it gets number too at times.
Yeah.
So just having the wherewithal to train it just enough to get it soft enough, to leave it alone enough so it lasts till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the next day is, it's mind-boggling to me to see 7-year-olds, Nicole Rennick's horse, look like it. It was super broke. Doesn't look overdone. Looked like it could go do that run 100 more times if it wasn't 100 degrees out. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty impressed with some of them.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? And this is, again, a very unpopular opinion by the old guard in the reining horse business, but I thought Kim and Gina did the right thing taking the tie, too. I mean, it's 100 degrees, humid. Those things standing in the stalls, they've been there for, 10
weeks.
days already, getting rode.
And Kim's riding a 4-year-old, I believe. So, I mean, even if Gina said run it off and Kim was my customer, I'd say let her win.
Yeah.
But I also believe that the other participant would be a great sport about it and not accept it
correct.
that way
Right.
too.
Correct.
There's a bunch of good people in reining, There's some jackass. Where'd he go?
Shit.
Where'd that guy go?
Yeah. No, but like you said, it was so hot there. There's no
Yeah.
reason. I mean, it's
No.
too tough.
And in spite of what people think, I mean, that horse isn't standing back at the stall thinking, 27 and a half, I could have done better. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not, they're standing back at the stall thinking, we're eating a little hay and a little grain, the fan's on, and I'm done for the day. I did good. I did good.
Yeah.
So to go pull them out again, I've never been a fan of that. And like I said, I know there's a lot of old school guys that go,
Gotta
got
have a
horses.
winner.
Get them out, run them again. That's what they're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different than that, I don't say that they're, if it's their horse and if 2 guys want to run it off, I know if I could go in there and have a little conversation with my horse, he would probably say, yeah, I'm good right here. Bring me another flake of hay, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, pretty impressive horses in every division winning of the NRBC. I don't know who won the level 3 and the 2 of
the
the
Derby.
non-pro.
Derby.
Yeah, I mean the Derby.
Yeah, I didn't see the level 3 and the 2.
But what a but so much interest. I mean, I saw a lot of people trying horses last couple days.
300 non-pro entries, 296 open.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. And you could argue that you would expect those numbers to go down with all the horse shows we have right now, and they are not going down anywhere. I mean, the numbers are staying strong. Everybody's showing up and participating, and I think it's a great time for guys like us to be in this business, because it is really a great business right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a ton of really great people involved in the industry right now.
Yeah.
So I think we're headed in the right direction. Still, I don't think we've ever been in the wrong direction. I've become, my member number is, I don't know how I remember this, but it's 2782. I mean, there's 2,781 that were before me.
That's good. You did good there, buddy.
Yeah, right off the top of my head. But
That took a while.
I've been around.
17041.
17041.
17,000.
Yeah, I'm 16064.
Oh, so you're a little for me.
So, and all my point being, in all the time I've been in this, I've never thought we weren't headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, I've never one time, because even the economy can take a hit, and we might flatten for a year or two, but the trajectory is always up in the reining horse business. And I know the conversation was 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, okay, all the ag kids are gone. Where are we going to get our next group of clients from? You know, there's nobody, growing up on farms anymore. Well, that's not where we're growing from. We're growing from, I think, kids whose parents or grandparents had horses and did that, and want to get their kids away from the phone and away from the computer and away from the video games, and it teaches those kids a lot of responsibility. So it's a surprise to me, because I was one of the guys 20 years ago that was like, hey, I don't know where we're going with this, because there's less and less farm kids, and it's not farm kids anymore. Now it's just kids of people that can afford to buy horses.
Yeah, that like horses.
Yeah. I'm not, it's good.
No, that always surprises me when you see a kid that's not a farm kid that's so into the horses.
Yeah.
When they see them,
Yeah.
they're just, oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, well, haven't you ever seen a horse before? Like,
Yeah.
no, they haven't.
Well, it's like some of our, you walk out to the barn and talk to some of our help, and it's like, oh, your family have horses? Nope. No. I'm the only one. Yeah. And they are ate up with it. That's all they can think about. I mean, all day long, get up at, 5 in the morning and go all day long.
Yeah.
I feel to some extent you guys need to apologize to farm kids for cornholing them and judging them. I mean, it's pretty judgy of farm kids.
No, I'm not judging them.
Well, you all use the term farm kids. I don't know. I mean, it seems kind
They're
of...
just farm kids that have horses.
I just think
you don't see many farm kids anymore. We're
hey,
losing
listen,
them.
I just think, I mean...
We didn't call him fat, Gunny.
In 2024, grouping a group of kids together and stereotyping them is not cool.
Yeah.
They're just kids.
They
grew up on a farm.
Agricultural.
Damn farm kid.
I think using the term farm and kid is derogatory, and I think you should be more descriptive.
Well, I think people with an agricultural background.
Agricultural background.
That's better?
Yeah.
Yes, that's better.
That's what we don't have as much of. Yeah.
Yeah, farm kid. That
kid.
just sounds...
No, I think that you'd be proud to be a farm kid.
That
I'm a
sounds
fucking
prejudice,
farm kid.
okay?
Farm kid. Screw you. I'm a farm kid.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
And how were the ancillary classes at the Derby?
Didn't you win one or something?
No, I didn't show on the ancillary pin this year. I won the Open last year, though.
No.
I mean, Me and AlphaTauri's chick did.
That's
last
right.
year.
That's right.
No, yeah, the ancillary pen was blowing and going there.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty big.
And you could pretty much go to a horse show every weekend if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
When you live in North Texas, within 6 hours you could probably go to a horse show every weekend.
Hey, buddy, we Saturday. Today's Wednesday. Saturday we had the Derby finals. Tuesday we're at the Paint World showing Wednesday and Thursday, and in a few weeks we'll be in Waco. I mean, in 2 weeks is a horse show in Graham. Week after that, the 100X in Waco. Super slide. You gonna do the super slide?
No.
You had your one. You can leave off the super slide with that performance.
Well, it was like I got my heart cut out.
You gonna retire the super slide with a performance like that?
You know what? I'm going to concentrate. I'm probably going to stay home and ride my 3-year-olds because I'm about 5 3-year-olds. There's just 5 3-year-olds between me and the level 2.
Dude,
So,
I'm doing the super slide.
I'm going to ride those
I'm
3-year-olds.
doing the super slide in Waco. I'm doing it on Girls on Fire. I'm doing it on Monica's Mare. And I am going to a costume store, and I am going to find that full Charo, Mexican Charo Reigning outfit. People that are going to make me a Charo outfit, I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be custom.
It's going to have to be custom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2024. There are some Mexican guys that come this size, but not many.
No, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, but not many that ride Charo horses.
Well, they're not that
Maybe
tall.
not. Yeah, not that tall. No.
Hey, I'll do the high-rise pants.
Make a little looser fitting jacket.
Yeah.
Make it in black. Do all black.
All
and
black,
be
like the Three
slimming.
Amigos with the white pinstriping
Yes.
everywhere. The white, what do you call them? The
filigree. No, not filigree. What is that called?
I don't know.
paisleys.
No, it's
Whatever.
not paisley.
Pasties?
No, not pasties either. Yeah, what
It's
is
cold
that?
in here, but we don't need them.
What is that? Not a yoke. What is
Maybe,
that?
yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Western design.
The old
Yeah.
Western yoker, yep.
Yeah, 3 Amigos. That would be good.
I don't know what they're.
Yeah, you got to do that.
What if you could do the slide contest 3 at a time and be all in 3 Amigos costumes?
Dude, that would be cool, but we couldn't
see who
invite. We
did it.
couldn't invite him to do it because did you see his debut?
Yeah, no, I heard about it. I heard about it.
Dude, they
He
had
just
the
talked about
music.
it for a
They had
minute,
the
and then that
music
was it.
out there blaring, and he runs in and puts his hand down and says, "Whoa!" And
Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing.
sorry, I can't help
That's
but make
too
fun
bad.
of him.
No, that was the worst run-in stop I've missed in 5 years, knock on wood. And it happened to be in a pattern where that's the only maneuver we did.
Yeah, you only got to do one maneuver,
Yeah.
and you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
that'll happen. That happens in the raining.
Well, boys, Gunny, thanks for toughing it out.
Yeah,
I'm
you had a
tired.
long day,
I'm
man.
going to bed.
You got a long day again tomorrow. What time are you leaving tomorrow?
4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
4. Nice.
Apparently, I gotta go pick up some
You got a
dumbass
big
pony.
pony. I'm telling you, dude, that thing's
If
not
that
very
pony's
broke.
a pain in the ass
Right?
to put on that trailer,
That pony's not broke, right?
he's staying here. You're gonna have to get somebody else.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. It'll be good fun. At 4, I'll bet at 4 in the morning. I bet he'll load.
I'll bring my rope and gloves and a rope, and we will dally off and pull. Tyra's big butt will pull that sucker on there.
Yeah, you guys.
No,
you
I'm
guys
not
are gonna
getting
be
kicked.
sweaty as hell at 4:20.
I ain't bringing him.
You'll be fine. Where is he?
You pick him
He's
up.
in the barn, in the mare barn.
Where? At my house?
Yeah.
No, I'll help you. No.
No, you won't. 4 in the
Do
morning.
you even know where your mare barn is at your place?
Yeah, it was in the mare barn
Yeah.
with the 2
It's
little
in the-
donkeys.
It's in the Mare Motel. Which one of those Mare Motels is called the Mare Motel, Tom? Is that the one on the north or the south?
Yeah, the north one.
Oh, okay. So what is the south one called?
48.
48
Oh,
stalls.
he does know his.
The 2
does,
barns.
He does know the intricacies of the facility.
Yeah. No, that should be good watching.
Okay, let's grow the show another day, you guys. I'm tired.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.